Hi guys, welcome to Money by Sunny. Today, we'll be talking about minimalism. You may have heard about minimalism from media personalities such as Marie Kondo, who advocates the process of tidying. As part of this process, the idea is to look at each and every one of your possessions and keep only those that you love or cherish. The rest of these items can either be discarded or sold, thus leaving only the minimum that you need to live a happy and fulfilled life. Sounds scary? It really isn't. At its core, minimalism is really about living a more simple, freer life where you focus on only the things that matter to you. And like everything else in life, there are different degrees of minimalism. How you adopt it will depend very much on your personality and your unique circumstances. So don't feel pressured to immediately sell all your possessions and move to a tiny cottage deep in the forest. A very positive side effect to this is that as you simplify your life, your finances tend to improve as well, since you're buying fewer things and accumulating fewer possessions. This leads to lower spending on purchases, as well as lower maintenance costs for the much fewer items that you now keep. It doesn't mean that you have to deny yourself nice things though. It just means that you're a lot more intentional about the things that you do decide to shell out for. Let's get a little deeper and look at 9 great ways in which minimalism can help with your personal finances. Number 1. Generate cash by selling unwanted items. This is probably the first step in achieving a minimalist lifestyle, by taking a good look at your existing possessions and deciding which ones you absolutely cannot live without, which are needs, versus those that are merely nice to have. As a result of this, you'll probably end up with a veritable mountain of things that you no longer want, which can then be sold for some extra cash. For example, instead of keeping cabinets full of books, why not switch to an e-reader, like a Kindle, and store all your books there? A bonus plus point here is that a decluttered house is easier and less expensive to clean and maintain, and needs less time to do so too. Number 2. Careful, deliberate spending on only what's important. This indirectly prioritizes quality over quantity, but don't get caught in the trap of only buying expensive things. Quality is not always super costly, and it can last longer, saving you money in the long run. Also, if you spent time and effort in getting your house rid of unwanted items, the last thing you'll want to do is to now go and add more things. Intentionally or not, you'll probably think very carefully before buying new things, which will have a happy impact on your wallet. Number 3. Helps prevent impulse buying, since you'll think carefully before adding to your possessions. This is similar to item 2 above. Impulse buying tends to end up in getting things that you later regret. But by adopting the minimalist approach, you'll be shying away from this and saving money at the same time. Number 4. Reduces wastage, meaning less duplicate buying and less things to later throw away. There's definitely a lot less wastage with minimalism, since everything you buy has a purpose and is something you really need. It also helps that you've already decluttered your house, and it will be easier to remember what you have and what you don't. This can help avoid the situation of buying something because you're not sure if you have it or not, which could be consumables like groceries, toiletries, or even wrapping paper. Of course, reducing waste is better for the environment too. Number 5. Potential downsizing to a smaller, less expensive home, or renting out or Airbnb-ing the excess space in your current home. This could be a significant plus to your finances, since our homes usually take up a big chunk of our monthly spend. For example, as you clear up the unnecessary items in your house, you may find that you no longer need a 2-room apartment, since one room could basically have been a storeroom for all your excess stuff. Downsizing to a smaller home can result in big savings in either your rental or your mortgage repayments. If it's too much of a hassle to move house, or if it's not possible for whatever reason, you can instead consider generating some money from your newfound vacant space. Maybe you could Airbnb your extra room to bring in some extra cash every month. It's pretty simple to put up a listing, and it could give you a nice additional income stream to help with your expenses. Number 6. Simplifies budgeting and makes it easier to track since there is less discretionary spending. Budgets are all about planning your expenses ahead of time and then making sure that you stick to them. By recording your actual spending and comparing that against your budget. Unexpected spending tends to blow your budget simply due to their unplanned nature. One way to further help with this is to set up automated debiting or payments to handle your regular expenses, bills or installments, etc., to further simplify your monthly process. Minimalism thus helps by reducing your discretionary spending, making it much easier to predict your expenses and then to keep to them. Number 7. Accelerates your journey to becoming debt-free. We often tend to buy things on credit, and these tend to be wants or things that we don't really need. This could be items like the latest iPhone, that designer outfit that you've had your eye on for the last couple of weeks, or the latest pair of Yeezys. All of which might mean charging it to your credit card and then having to pay that sky-high interest. By being careful and reducing your spending in the first place, there's less temptation to get into debt. And it then becomes easier to focus on clearing your existing debt and getting closer to that debt-free life. Number 8. Personal mobility, since you have fewer things. Being mobile means that it becomes easier to relocate to where there is demand for your services, or where the jobs are. Think about it. The more things you have, the more inertia there is, the more tied down you'll feel, and the less able you are to move to where the opportunities for higher income are. For example, according to a recent research report, in the US, about 20% of private sector jobs are concentrated in 4 cities, which are Chicago, New York, San Francisco, and Seattle. Having a minimalist lifestyle gives you that mobility and flexibility to follow the money more easily. Number 9. Inward focus rather than comparing with others. A key tenet to minimalism is really understanding your own situation and priorities, and then simplifying your life to eventually achieve that, rather than wanting to constantly keep up with what others are doing. It often means things like getting the latest tech or fashion becomes less important as compared to your own internal priorities that you've set for yourself, which means less expenditure and better finances. In conclusion, while there's no one-size-fits-all approach to minimalism, at its core, it is a way of life that prioritizes simple, decluttered living, which has the happy effect of reducing expenses and improving personal finances. It's not a trivial change to your life by any means, but the effects of embracing it can be monumental. While it can be a major change in how you live, it doesn't have to happen overnight. Many people ease into the minimalist lifestyle over the course of a couple of years, gradually decluttering and adopting that mindset of careful, intentional spending. And apart from the financial benefits, the act of simplifying tends to result in lower stress and greater happiness as well. I hope you got some useful insights from this video. If you're interested in learning more about improving your finances and financial literacy in general, then be sure to subscribe, as I'll be putting up more useful videos that I'm sure you'll get a lot of value from. Give this video a like too if you found this content useful. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more videos on learning about money and personal finance. See you next time on Money by Sunny.